Well, I don't know, but it's not yours.
Yes, it is.
That's not yours? That is yours? No, it's probably charged. Some of them don't have the, oh, is that what it's doing? Remember we talked about this at the beginning of the year. You need to get a new internal battery. There's a battery inside there. It's like one of those little round ones.
Like when they run the hair days or something?
Yeah. Or watches, you know.
TikTok is on a generational run.
Like
Okay.
TikTok's on fire.
TikTok is on a run. Wait, waffles?
Now our equations have logarithms in them, but that's okay. We know how to solve this, don't we? How are we going to solve this?
Look at them.
So the answer is 2. So easy. How about the next one?
X equals 8.
2 to the third, x equals 8. Oh my gosh, this is so easy. What about the next one?
14.
4 squared equals x plus 2, so 16 is x plus 2, and x equals 14. Guys, we should be flying through these, right? They're going to get harder. I'm warning you, they're going to get harder, but not today. These are pretty easy.
-17.
So m is going to be 3 squared equals 1 minus x. What did you say? Did you say -8?
Yeah.
You are right, -8. And you can do n a couple of different ways.
I got a question.
Yep.
For, you said 4 to the square.
It's -7.
64, right?
Yeah, it's negative. Oh wait, what am I talking about?
4 squared is 64,
It's
right?
negative.
No, it's 16.
4 squared?
What?
4
8
times
squared is
4?
64.
We're talking 4 to 64. Oh, I think it was my fault. This is a great moment.
Okay, yep,
Great moment.
yep. Wait till you're old, it happens all the time.
You have a lot of brain work.
So, when you're old, you sure do. All right, here we go. First thing I'm gonna do is divide everything by 2. Now, I don't have to do that. I could pull this off and make it an exponent, but for me, that makes my problem harder. I'd rather just divide that 2 out and have the log base 4 of x plus 1 equal to 2. And then here it is again, Elijah, 4 squared.
Oh, yeah.
So 16 is x plus 1 and x equals 15. Everybody okay with that?
Absolutely. Hey,
Yep.
sounds good to me.
O,
60. X equals 60.
we're gonna do the same sort of thing with O.
Well, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna move that 6 over. Is that okay? Got rid of that 6 over there. Then I'm gonna divide by my -3. So 6 squared equals 4 plus x. And it looks like the answer is 32.
Not 5. I don't know whether it's a subtraction steps or divide by 1 3
Wait, because there's 0. You can't
It's
divide
kind of like a regular equation, I just moved things in the order it makes sense, but it wouldn't matter. But if you divided by -3 first, you still have to divide the 6. You have to divide everything in the problem, no matter which side of the equation it's on. So it isn't really gonna change anything. But if I'm solving an equation like this,
I'll make sure I
first thing I'll do is move that 5, and then divide by 2. Same thing, okay? All right. Now things are going to get a bit more interesting. All right, so we've done the easy ones. Generally speaking, if you can do them without a calculator, they're pretty easy. It's when we have to use a calculator that things get a little hairier. So let's look at this for a second. And why do I need a calculator? Well, first I'm going to divide by the 6.
bases don't equal 6.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
Before
Okay, Jen.
lunch, when I divided by 6, I got like a 4 over here. And that was good, because 4 is 2 squared. But now I have a 3. And there is no way 1, 2, and 3. Does that make sense to you?
Throw that LN in
Okay,
there.
so now, what I'm gonna do, if I can't get a common base, I'm gonna take the logarithm of both sides. So I can ln or log. So if you have a preference, I like to use the ln button. Okay, doesn't matter one bit. Put a logarithm on both sides. Now, the minute you do that, this exponent comes out in front. Remember? That's what we learned yesterday. So x plus 1 log 2 equals log 3. Now wait, don't go to the calculator yet. Can I divide both sides by log 2?
Yeah.
So x plus 1 will equal log 3 over log 2.
Close. We'll do that first then.
And then I'll subtract that 1. And this is what I'm ultimately going to type into my calculator. I don't want you typing it in pieces and rounding it off. You're going to do log 3, close parentheses, divided by log 2, and then subtract 1. And hopefully you got 0.5850. Those of you confused about the rounding, we'll go through this once. You're gonna round it to 10,000, right? That's bigger than 5, it's 5 or bigger. So it's gonna round up. 49 has to go to 50. And you're gonna do all. We did not need logarithms before lunch because we could get a common base. If you can't get a common base, you're going to take the logarithm of both sides. Step 1, however, either way you're doing it, must be to divide by that number. Okay? You can't get a common base, and you can't ln or log until you get rid of that number. So e to the x equals 93/17. Don't write, just leave it 93/17. Don't round it off. No common base. This time I'm gonna ln. Why do you suppose I'm ln? Because there's an e already in the problem.
out?
And
that.
when an ln and an e
Come together.
touch each other,
Cancel.
so x equals ln 93/17, whatever that is. Now,
Wait, so in this case, it's strategic to use LN.
absolutely,
Ah.
absolutely. Could you get the same answer going the other way? Absolutely, but it would be more work.
It'd be different.
So you should get 1.6994.
Yep.
Yeah, you round up.
Okay, the equations, come on guys, you got work to do. The equations look terrible. Good grief, this looks atrocious.
Does.
But, I'm gonna do everything I just did. So I'm gonna start by dividing by 50. So e to the negative 112x equals 4. That one happens to divide nicely. So we'll ln both sides. Gone. Negative 0.112x equals ln 4. So what I'll type in my calculator is ln 4 over negative 0.112. Now, is everybody keeping up? I know some of you've got this down, you're doing magnificently. Is everybody okay?
Yep. A little fast.
I got
Yeah, I
negative
got it.
12.37.
Negative 12.3776?
Let's get it.
Alright,
I'll get it.
go ahead and try the next one. Vernon, this will be your last problem, so go ahead and do D, and then you can go. get them? Did you get the tickets?
She hasn't sent the text yet. Still waiting.
He's been checking every 5 seconds.
It's like a half.
Log, I go log.
1, 2, 4.
There you go.
2.1447?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get that, Ron?
Yep.
All right. Have a safe trip.
Okay, thank you.
Give your brother my best.
Where you going, Ron?
Safe travels, Aaron.
Safe travels across the sea. Wait, where you going?
Going back home.
Okay, guys, everybody good? We got 2 more to go. Let's get these done. E and F. Do I have a volunteer?
For what?
Oh,
I have. Oh, really? Sure. Dana's got it.
Oh.
Okay, you can do it, Jake.
Okay.
And then who wants to do F?
Dana.
Dana? All right. Dana, you got it.
Even us leaving is 200.
Wait, wait, hold on, I'm gonna do this on my.
Yes, you do, because you don't want to round it off.
Well, yeah.
Why is it not 100? Because you're divided by 1.7.
All right, what are the rest
Oh,
of
I'm
us
looking at it.
doing right now? Which I did with my idea.
Thank you.
Jake, I thought you were doing
I'm
this.
doing this right here on my.
No, get up here and do it. We don't have time for you to do it twice. Either know what you're doing or you don't. Okay, you do.
So for this one, don't put it separately. This is something that you put it separately.
I do it all at once, but if it helps you to like be typing as you go,
Yeah.
just don't write that answer down.
Okay.
So like if you're gonna type this in, just one answer, and then you're gonna subtract it, so just -1,
And then
and then
divide it
you
all.
basically without rounding it off, step by step. Huh?
That is right.
Is that the problem? So you subtracted 10, divided by 5. Okay, so then you're gonna have to go off the
Yeah.
step.
So far.
I don't know. There's 3.
So I divided 200 by 81.
Okay, don't do that. Leave it 200 over 81,
Oh, okay.
because you've got round off error already. And that's okay, you can type it in again. So I'm just like 200 over 81.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, minus 1 from that. And then you're gonna divide the whole thing by,
So should I do this before?
you can, it's up to you, just don't round it off.
Will that ever be able to?
Yeah.
I think
You round, 200 divided by 81.
I'm like so close.
Wait, yeah, don't divide it. Don't divide it. Just keep the ln in front of the 200 over 81. And then put that in. Solve it separately. So subtract 1, get the answer.
Yeah.
I matched Dana for this one.
Oh, you gripping it?
You didn't get it?
I didn't get 38.
Oh, I don't know, I took his word. 190 divided by 5.
Wait,
190 divided by
190 divided by 5.
30. What?
Right.
I don't know, I'm just doing this.
Let's get one year.
You divide the 5 first.
Anyone get this?
Subtract the 10.
No.
No, you.
No, you're so wrong.
Guys, we need to talk about this. If you divide the 5 first, you have to divide everything by 5. So you would have 3 to the x plus 2 equals 40. And then when you subtract the 2, you're right back to where he was. I encourage you to move that 10 first, because we always forget
10 dots.
to divide, but it's up to you. It's up to you. It's kind of reverse PEMDAS because we're undoing the equation, but it doesn't matter. You can do it both ways, but if you're gonna divide, you divide everything. Okay, I have not done Jake's yet.
Easy now.
So let's
I did.
You got it, Jake.
Are you gripping? No, no, you were wrong. Gripping? Did I just type in my calculator wrong?
Oh, you gripping?
Oh, man.
yeah, I don't know. That's
you gripping?
not what I got.
Yeah.
What'd you get, 0.6 something?
I got this.
You got two.
I got what Jake got.
You're all looking at
I didn't
Did
do
you
it.
isolate, did you use the percentage over 200?
Alright. The video is on too, so they can Oh, they can hear that in the
Hey, you guys in the audience. You get in there?
Yeah, no, this is what I got. This is what I got.
That's what I got.
That's what I got.
That's what I got.
No, yeah.
So, there's a lot of writing here, and I am not all hung up on the writing. What I'm hung up on is don't round off. So, if you want to go ahead and type in ln 200 over 81 and get that answer, leaving it on your calculator, then you can take that minus 1, leave that answer on your calculator, and then divide it by 4. Okay? If you start rounding off up here, then this is going to be off a little bit and you'll lose points and it's dumb. You don't need to round off. Okay? So that is correct. I had something else typed in there. Okay? Alright, so now we're switching gears, and some of these will require a calculator and some won't. So we'll just kind of have to go through and see. Alright, so what do we got? 3A. So, let's start taking it apart. We gotta get it cleaned up here.
Minus 3 over.
Minus 3 over. I think that sounds like a good plan. Okay, that's good. Then divide by -2. Loop-de-loo. Everybody okay at this point? We're gonna loop-de-loo. So 6 to the negative first
Is 1/6.
is 1/6 exactly. So our answer is going to be 1/6 minus 2. That's 1/6 minus 12/6. Negative 11/6.
Yes.
Now, if you have a calculator, your calculator with you, you can type in 1 divided by 6 minus 2, and then math, frac that, and it will give you the answer. You might not have a calculator, but if you do, you can do that on your calculator also. All right. Tell me what you're gonna do with this one.
Add the 2.
Add the 2,
Divide by 3.
divide by 3,
Put element.
e to the second equals x. And remember with e, you can just leave it. So the answer is e squared. E squared. Alright, C. We'll subtract the 2 and divide by -1. Very good. And remember, the base is 10. When all you see is the log, you know the base is 10. Just like when you see an ln, you know the base is e. So loop-de-loop, 10 to the -2nd is x plus 1. What's 10 to the -2nd? 1 over 100. So x equals 1 over 100 minus 1. Negative 99 100. Wow, this is so cool. Let's take a look now at D. There's something different about D.
You gotta simplify it. You gotta simplify it.
We have 2 logarithms, and you can't loop-de-loo with 2. So we're gonna have to take the 2 and put them together. So these guys are gonna go together as one logarithm. Now, see that right there?
It's x minus 3.
What?
It's x minus
Oh, it's x minus 3, thank you. Where did I get x minus 1? I don't know. All right, is that okay? Now, what does that tell me to do?
Multiply.
Multiply. So in here, I'm going to have x squared minus 3x. Because I am multiplying x and x minus 3,
What would you do if the logs had different bases?
you wouldn't do the problem. I mean, you can do the problem, but we won't encounter that.
Are there 2 solutions?
Well, I don't know. Why are you saying that, Elijah?
Squares.
Okay, so now I have one logarithm, right? Everybody got that? We're put together?
Yep.
So now, I'm gonna loop-de-loop. So 10 to the first equals x squared minus 3x, which is a quadratic equation.
Oh, not tell me. You can factor.
Why
Which
does it
factors.
-2 and x.
Now, what do we do if it doesn't factor? We don't panic, we just use the quadratic formula. But this one does factor. X minus 5 plus 2. So Elijah says, "Oop, look like 2 answers." Well, he's sort of right. We get 5 and -2. But I want you to come over here and look at my original problem. What would happen if I put a -2 in there?
Maybe.
Try it on your calculator. Press log -2. Press log -2.
Can't, not
a thing. Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You cannot take the logarithm or ln log, doesn't matter. You can't take any logarithm of a negative number. Okay? So in other words, this thing and this thing cannot be negative. So -2 is an extraneous root. Because those things must be positive. All right, one more. E. Oh boy, look at E.
This one looks pretty creepy. This one looks creepy.
This one is crazy.
Looks like it's got a lot of work to it.
This answer is so
Pretty deep.
Okay, first things first.
Divide.
You gotta combine your logarithms. You can't solve, I can't solve, no one can solve a logarithmic equation if you have more than one log on each side. So you can't have two. You can have one, but you can't have two. So these two are going to get put together. How?
2x over 3.
2x over 3. Now, you're not going to loop-de-loop. Would everyone agree with that? This is a different animal. Oh, now wait a second. Remember when we had a common base, when we had like 2 to the x equals 2 to the 7? We just set those equal to each other. See how these are the same?
Yeah.
So you just say 2x over 3 equals 5. So basically, you can cancel those. You're not really canceling those out. But if the log of my right hand equals the log of my left hand, then right and left have to be equal. So the answer to the problem is 15 halves, 7 and a half. Yep, that's exactly right. Wowzy, we are an amazing group of people here.
Yes. You got it done.
You did.
You worked pretty hard today.
You did great today. Let's roll this.
Yes.
Woo.
Love this walk.